The problem of evil is the idea that God is powerful enough to stop evil and good enough to stop evil, so there should be no evil. God and evil cannot coexist. However, if God has morally sufficient reasons for allowing evil, such as greater goods to achieve, then it's indeed possible for them to coexist. Now, the skeptic might say that it's possible for God to have reasons for allowing evil, but it's very improbable. But if there is an all-knowing God, his perspective is so much greater than ours that we cannot make any sort of probability assessment like this. Thus, we cannot say that God and evil coexisting is impossible nor improbable. Thanks for watching.
I have to admit that the infamous problem of evil per se has been sufficiently responded here. Though, what if we tweak the argument a bit? I mean, suppose we say God is morally perfect in the sense that he isn't guilty of anything, and that evil here isn't suffering, but just moral wrongness. Then it seems that since moral wrongness is that which ought not be, the act of permitting that which ought not be is itself a morally wrong act by its very definition, making the agent that enabled it morally guilty. Of course, this only applies if the agent had the power to prevent it, which God does because all logically possible things can be done by him. Now, this might be an internal critique in that it doesn't put the atheist in a position to defend that evil really exists, because of course, the theist could ask the atheist to justify objective morality to say that objective evil really exists. But it's good to note that this only works if the theist accepts that evil really exists in their worldview. So if you translate this into the privation theory of evil, I guess it would say that if God is all good, then this goodness is fully exemplified, and that there does not remain any privation in goodness. But I shouldn't forget to mention the free will defense, of course. The key point there would be that even if free will exists, the definition that permitting moral wrongness or permitting privations is itself a privation or a morally wrong act still seems to stand deontically. If you like this short, do like, comment, share, and subscribe to The Absolute Monist.